I own your soul. Now the story for Soul Calibur 5. That is right, there's actually a story in Soul Calibur 5, and it's pretty damn lame. The story here follows a character named Patroclus, who is the son of a character from Soul Calibur 4, I think, because this is set 17 years after Soul Calibur 4. I guess, I don't know. I didn't really read the backstory for this game, nor did I give a damn, nor did I pay attention, really. Because the story is just lame. The characters are really annoying, especially Patroclus, oh god. And the dialogue is bad, the voice acting is bad, and the cutscenes, oh my god, there's like no cutscenes in this game. All it is freaking pictures, that's it. Pictures of characters, and you hear dialogue over them. So you get terrible looking pictures, and then you get terrible dialogue with terrible voice acting, so that's 3 terribles in a row that you'll have to pretty much look at and listen to throughout the entire game. If I had to explain the story real quick, this is what it is. The story follows Patroclus. He's the son of a bunch of people, whatever, and he has to go find his sister who has been kidnapped long ago when he was young, and there you go, there's the story. And on his way, he gets embroiled into something else, blah, blah, blah. You know the freaking setup for this freaking story. He becomes the hero. There you go. There you go. There's the story. So anyway, it's bad. I didn't like it at all. It was boring. Let's go on to the sound. Now the sound in Soul Calibur 5. The sound does, in fact, fare better than the story, but not by much. Like I said in the story, the voice acting is really, really bad in this game, but luckily, you don't need to listen to it, you can just read the subtitles. So if you just want to read the really bad dialogue, then you can just do that. You don't need to listen to it, so that's a plus right there. And also, sometimes when the dialogue and the actual acting is so bad, it's actually hilarious. There's a character in the story named Viola. Whenever she says something, it's so funny, and it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be very, like, smart or something, like, very, very philosophical or some shit, and it's not any of that. It's just hilarious. Every time she talks, it's so bad. But I gotta say, the soundtrack in this game is actually really good, and also the sound design is also good. The soundtrack is filled with some J-pop here and there, and some really good orchestral sounds. I liked it, I really did. So there you go. 2 good things for the sound, 1 really bad thing, so it did fare better, but not by much. Let's go on to the graphics. Now the graphics for Soul Calibur 5. Soul Calibur 4, for me, in 2008, had some of the best graphics I've ever seen. They really did. The character models were great, the fighting, the animations. It was so smooth looking, so colorful, so nice. I thought it was one of the best looking games, and it only gets better from here. Soul Calibur 5 has some great graphics. There is some iffy things here and there with some of the character models, like, if you don't know, Ezio Auditore Differenzi is in this game, and for some reason he looks completely different, in my opinion, than he does in the actual Assassin's Creed games, because he's very cartoony looking in this, very smooth-faced. In Assassin's Creed, he didn't look like that, but that's just my opinion. But for the most part, the game is still very beautiful. The landscapes that you see in the background when you're fighting look great. The animations are very smooth, very colorful too when you're seeing these blue wave things whenever you're fighting. You know what I'm talking about if you played Soul Calibur. It's just a great looking game, it really is. So, there you go. Graphics, just like every other Soul Calibur game, are fantastic. Let's go on to the gameplay. Now, the gameplay for Soul Calibur 5. If you have ever played a Soul Calibur game before, then welcome back, because for the most part, the gameplay here is exactly the same as 4, 3, 2, and 1, which is a great thing, because the gameplay for those games were fantastic for their time, and right now, it's still fantastic, because Soul Calibur 5's fighting mechanics, the gameplay itself, is a lot of fun. It really is, especially since they actually added a few new things here. Of course, they added a couple new characters. They have a wide range of characters. They have about 28 altogether. They, of course, added Ezio Auditore, which gets a markup for me right there, so there you go. Seeing that they added a few new gameplay features, they, of course, had to add a couple of new game modes. Here you have Nightmare Mode, a new mode which pretty much makes the game impossible. There you go. That's pretty much what I'm going to say, because I barely played it because it frustrated me so quickly that I just stopped playing. So there you go. If you really like a difficult game, then play Nightmare Mode. They of course added the story mode, which I said wasn't all that great story-wise at least, but you know, the gameplay is still fun, but might as well just play the arcade. It's the same exact thing. And talk about the arcade. Let's talk about the arcade. The arcade here is very, basic. It's only six players that you have to fight, and all you do is unlock stuff. There's no story for the arcade mode, which is kind of lame. And just like the other two installments, they put back the create a fighter feature in this game, and it's much better than it was in the last two. Here it's very expansive, a lot of fun just to create your character. Of course, I made a bunch of weird characters, but that's typical of me. It is a lot of fun, it really is. But next time, add a feature where you can actually make your own moveset, not just pick from a character from the actual game. That's kind of lame. But for the most part, the create a fighter is really fun. And the last thing I want to talk about is the online multiplayer, which in this game is freaking awesome and a lot of fun to play because there is absolutely no lag at all, and it pretty much takes a page out of Mortal Kombat 9's book and makes it a social experience because you actually go into a player match and join a room and chat with people and ask them, hey, you want to fight? And they'll be like, yeah, sure, let's fight. And it's a lot of fun, and there's absolutely no lag at all. And you can also bring your created character in and baffle people with how absurd your guy is. That is awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of this game. I do not think it is as good as 1 or 2, but it's still a fantastic game. Definitely go check out Soul Calibur 5. It is very good. Go check it out. So anyway, there you go. There's my review. Thank you and goodbye.
That was tough.